Good morning and welcome to Cincy Lifestyle. Thanks for choosing to spend your morning with us.
That's exactly right. Here we are, deeply embedded in the season of peace on earth and goodwill to all men, unless you're either a boomer or a millennial. And then there is there's open warfare. You've heard the phrase, okay, boomer.
Yes, yes. I've been told that before. Yes, right.
Okay, so in the midst of all of this fray comes a study by the Journal of Psychology and Aging on narcissism. Now, here's what narcissism is defined as: an inflated sense of self-importance, a need for excessive attention and admiration, a lack of empathy, and low self-esteem, vulnerable to criticism. Now, they checked out whether that applied more to boomers or millennials. Guess who it applies to?
I'm going to go with us. I mean boomers. Right.
Well, sadly, yes.
Oh. I was hoping I was wrong, Clyde.
Yeah, you know, we call the millennials snowflakes and stuff like that, but apparently we're the biggest panty waists there are out there. Vulnerable to criticism and low self-esteem. Who knew that was us?
Right.
Yeah, well, so anyway.
It doesn't feel like us at all.
Well, and no, it doesn't feel like us at all.
And what's the age for a boomer?
A boomer is 55 to 73.
Okay.
We are in the youth of that arc.
Okay, let's go with that.
And millennials, who cares what they
So we're the millennials of the boomers.
That means we're not quite as vulnerable to criticism. If you work in our office, you can't be vulnerable to criticism.
That's right.
Because the millennials who work in there, including she who must be obeyed, are unsparing in their criticism of us. They call it adult daycare when we walk.
That's right. Well, here they come. Right. But we love it. We wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Yes, indeed. Well, you know, we are, however, in the holiday season. We talk a lot about Christmas, but this is also the time for Hanukkah. As many of you know, last night was the start of Hanukkah. Now, that is the Jewish festival that lasts for 8 days. But here's the question: do you know the real history behind this commemoration? Well, to help you out with that, we want to enlighten you today, and we've got some good help for that right now. Right, Mona?
That's right, Clyde. And to tell us more about it, I want to welcome Rabbi Shena Jaffee, the Director of Jewish Life at Mayerson JCC. Thank you so much for being here, Shena.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Now, people are generally familiar with Hanukkah, but tell us a little bit about the history.
Well, Mona, happy Hanukkah.
Thank you.
And the holiday really started back in ancient times when the Holy Temple stood in Jerusalem. There was a group of a ruling party, the Greco-Syrians, who were really destroying Jewish culture and wanting to eradicate it. And a small band of fighters, the Maccabees, came in and said, we want to restore our religion. And they miraculously were able to fight back and reclaim the temple in Jerusalem. And at that point, that was the first miracle. And the second miracle was when they reclaimed the temple, they went to light an eternal flame. That's the flame that we still have in synagogues around Cincinnati. But there was only enough oil for one night. And so they reclaimed it, they lit the lamp, and as it turned out, there was enough oil to last for 8 nights.
Wow.
And what I think is really special about it is an oil lamp burning for 8 nights, not such a big deal, except that they stopped and they noticed.
Wow.
So really at the season, it's a chance to notice, even at darkest times, different types of miracles that are right around us.
Well, that is so fascinating to know all the history behind it. So tell me about how it's commemorated.
Well, we most visibly commemorate it by lighting a Hanukkah menorah, a Hanukkah lamp. Every night we light an additional candle. So last night we lit the helper candle and 1 candle, and by the end of the 8 nights, by Sunday night, we'll have all the candles lit on the Hanukkah menorah. We also spin dreidels, and we eat foods fried in oil. So it's a nice holiday to just be together and spend the time every evening celebrating together.
Well, what is the biggest point that people fail to understand about Hanukkah?
Well, you know, Hanukkah is actually not that important liturgically for Jewish people. However, in our community, especially in light of Christmas, Hanukkah has taken on new significance. And I think it is when the days are shorter, it's nice to have a festival of light to celebrate and be together. So while it's not so important, we don't have to take off work or spend a lot of time in synagogue, extra time, we still get to be together with friends and family.
That's wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. All right, well, we have in our community a really robust Jewish community.
We do.
So tell me about some of the activities that you do.
Well, we have so many wonderful ways to celebrate Hanukkah, both in our homes and in synagogues. And at the Mayerson JCC tonight, we're having our latkes Hanukkah party. Latkes are the fried potato pancakes that we eat. So anybody is welcome to join us for latkes. We just ask that they make a reservation ahead of time.
Okay, that sounds great. All right, so where can people get more information, make that reservation?
Sure, they can go to our website at mayersonjcc.org and make a reservation and also find out about all the other candle lightings and activities around town.
All right, Rabbi Shena Jaffee, thank you so much for being here and explaining all this to us.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Clyde?
All right, Mona, you know, we were talking about age-related issues earlier, but no matter how old you are, the holidays are the perfect time for snuggling up and reading a good book. And we are ever so fortunate to have a number of talented authors in our area, one of whom is author and illustrator Will Hillenbrand. Will, thank you so much for being here today.
Well, I'm happy to be here, Clyde.
Let's talk about what inspired you for Santa's Story and perhaps by extension all of your books.
Well, for this particular story, it happened when I was a child. My dad read The Night Before Christmas to us on the night before Christmas, and I'm the youngest of 4 boys, and I could have heard that story forever. But I was like in 6th grade, and my oldest brother, who was in high school, said, "I don't want to hear it anymore." And my dad closed the book, and I didn't think Christmas could happen unless my dad read that story, because within every holiday, we have our own tradition.
Sure.
That was mine. I didn't know it. My dad recorded it on a cassette tape, and so I have his voice, but that was the last time.
Even now, still?
Yeah, still, yeah. But he's passed away many years, but so when my son was young, we read The Night Before Christmas on the night before Christmas. I made a little paper mache Santa holding his book. And then about 4 years ago, and I always keep journals and sketchbooks, and I had one on Christmas morning when I should have probably been doing dishes or something. But what I did was I drew Santa, and I had Dad Santa reading, and I thought, Santa reading to whom? And in this case, I thought I drew a reindeer. And then that long ago experience connected with this story, because in this story, the deer won't bring Christmas to us until they get their favorite tradition, and that's when Santa reads to them.
Ah, okay.
It's their story time.
Let me dive in right quickly. You illustrate most of your work, yes?
Yes. Mm-hmm. All of the books I do, I illustrate.
You do the illustrations
Right.
for all of the books and for others. How critical is the good relationship between words and pictures in what you do?
It's seamless. It should just seem, you know, when I do my own work, it should seem like it comes from one spot. When I work for others, it should seem that that's the same. So it shouldn't seem like it's coming from 2 different minds. It should just seem, for the story, it should just blend together into one.
Tell us about 1 or 2 of your other books, because in addition to Santa's Story, you have several more out there in the marketplace as well, right?
Yeah, I have many books, and everyone has their own backstory. My wife is a kindergarten teacher, and so at the end of the day, when we have dinner, her stories are better than mine.
Written by life.
That's right, exactly, and children, and so they are the very, very best. And so sometimes I did a book that came out this last fall called Mighty Reader, and that was inspired by an experience that she had with her children, and I think a certain need that I felt was important to talk about. That book, Mighty Reader, is a series, so it'll continue on with more books.
Okay, I want to talk about an upcoming signing that you have and how folks can get to this book. So tell us about the signing. Where
I'll
is
be
that?
signing at Dosher's.
Dosher's Candy, yeah.
In Newtown, and I'll be with Santa, and that'll be from 2 until 4 this Saturday.
Okay, all right. And where can people get your book?
At any independent bookseller within the tri-state, they may have copies. This book has sold out nationwide through Amazon, but with some local booksellers, their favorite independent bookseller, they may have a few copies left. If not, come over to Dosher's on Saturday.
Congratulations, Will Hillenbrand. We appreciate you stopping by.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Indeed.
Well, we have so many talented young adults in our community, many of whom are wonderful singers. So we wanted to give you a taste of all the talent this holiday and to welcome the Turpin High School Choir. Enjoy.
Way to go, Forest Hills. Simply beautiful. Coming up here on Cincy Lifestyle, do you remember toys like pound puppies or Tamagotchis? Well, they are making a comeback. The Toy Insider's back to tell us all about these popular throwback toys. Then we take a trip down to the Densmore homestead, give you a look inside at this historic home and tell you more about the family who lived there. It's the holidays in Burlington, Kentucky. Be sure to stay with us right here. Well, Christmas is just a few days away, but our love for toys was instilled long ago, and in some cases in this studio, we mean long ago. In honor of those memories, we want to let you know about 4 throwback toys that are making a comeback. And here now to share that with us is Maddie Mahalik, from the Toy Insider. Maddie, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for playing today.
This is Throwback Day, and I'm here to tell you the reaction in the studio suggests this is huge.
Yeah, because these are the nostalgic toys that you remember playing with as a kid, and now a whole new generation of kids can have those same memories.
Exactly. Mona remembers this, Trapper Keeper, I'm just gonna say.
Yeah. So Trapper Keeper actually was just a school supply. So Big G Creative turned this iconic school supply into a game. So players are going to be collecting things like homework and report cards and quizzes to try to get the most points. Whoever gets the most points at the end of the game is the coolest kid in school.
All right. All right, I'm going to come back to this end for a moment because this one triggered Allie. She had some memories about this.
Shout out to the 90s kids out there. This is Pretty Princess. And in this game, players are going around the game board to collect different sets of jewelry. Once you collect your bracelet, necklace, ring, and earrings, and the crown, you are the pretty princess.
Allie is fanning herself over there in the studio. Okay, as we move on down, some of these guys look familiar too.
Yeah, the pound puppies are back and they're ready to be adopted and loved all over again. If you look at them, they look just like they did back in the day, so they look and feel just like you remember. And they're so cute. They have different eye expressions, facial expressions, and they're just adorable. They also come with adoption papers to make it all official.
Okay, all righty. Let's continue on down the line. You've got now, I didn't get to see these
Tamagotchi on.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember how popular Tamagotchi was back in the day?
Vaguely, but not as clearly as Allie does.
Yeah, so now they're back for a whole new generation of kids. 90s kids like me are going to recognize changes right off the bat, like there's a full color display, like what?
Right, yeah.
There's millions of Tamagotchis for kids to, raise, and they can interact in new different ways, like they can get married, they can have their own pets, They can play games and so much more. And if kids can connect their devices together for, added value play.
All right, and to complete Allie's stroll down memory lane, latch kits.
Yes, latch kits are a great activity kit for kids. You get these different pieces of yarn. You get to make these fuzzy and furry creations.
Which, by the way, we point out you're still doing too.
Yeah, I have one at my desk and I do it little by little.
Got it.
I love it so much. So this is the 3D poodle kit. So it comes with pieces of yarn that are of different lengths. So it gives you that illusion of a 3D design.
Let's talk budget right quick. These are really comfortable in
Yeah,
most
these
budgets?
are fairly affordable. It goes anywhere from $19.99 to $69.99. Actually, we also have one more over there.
Oh.
That is $1.99. It is the Arcade 1-Up Countercade. Now this is the ultimate throwback. You're bringing that arcade experience right into your home. It fits right on any tabletop, so you can put it anywhere in the house, like your basement, the living room, wherever. It has classic joystick controls, buttons. The gameplay is just like you remember playing. And it has full high-resolution color displays and sounds.
Oh, wow.
The ultimate throwback toy.
I know. Well, Maddie, thank you so much for taking us down memory lane. Tell folks right quick where they can get more information.
Get more information at thetoyinsider.com.
All right, Maddie Mahalik, thank you for coming.
Thank you for
bringing,
having me.
like I said, this stroll down memory lane.
You're very welcome.
All righty.
Well, it's the holidays at the Dinsmore Homestead, a historic house in Burlington, Kentucky, where 6 generations of family stories come to life. And with much of the furnishings original to the first generation, the home reveals what a true 19th century holiday would have been like. And we went to check it out.
The sights, the smells, and the sounds during the holidays at the Dinsmore homestead are those of the 19th century. No cell phones, no televisions, and no central heating. But what they did have was each other, good food, their creative minds, and music.
Christmas time would be a wonderful time for the piano. So this piano that we have now is an 1860 Steinway, but they did have a piano fort here prior to that. And all of the young ladies in the Dinsmore family played very well. And Julia really liked to sing. And they would have children over when Julia was older, in her 60s and 70s. She would have a bonfire, according to neighbors, every Christmas for children in the neighborhood who maybe didn't have a lot or didn't receive a lot for Christmas. She would play songs on the piano, they would sing, and she would provide cookies and treats for them.
The Dinsmore family loved to entertain and have visitors, which sometimes meant feeding up to a dozen guests. The cooking was always done in the cabin, and the holidays certainly were a feast.
So the main meal, dinner, which would have been served at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, would have been an affair for maybe 15 to 20 people. And probably they would have had 3 or 4 kinds of meats. They definitely would have had ham that they had prepared a year before. And they would have had, they had pheasants, they had geese, they had chickens here. So they would have had a variety of meats, preserved fruits that they kept from the trees they had. The Dinsmores had over 1,000 apple trees, so they would have had compote, fruit compote. They would have had the gingerbread and lots of other sweets. One thing we did notice about the gingerbread recipe is it has an awful lot of sugar and molasses in it. So if you were a middle class to wealthy family, you would have very sweet sweets.
Whether it's the sweet treats or the sweet smell of roses, the Dinsmore home embraced the holidays. And even though Christmas trees and elaborate decorations weren't necessarily prevalent at the time, they still engaged in setting up simple decor and gift giving.
Their decorations do reflect the fact that you do things by hand. So they would have bought books, but they did not, we can't find where they bought a lot of presents in Cincinnati. They would have made things. They would have made things from what they had. So their decorations would have reflected what the place looked like in the summertime. They would have taken things from the summer and preserved them and used them for their decorations.
All right, we'll be back with more Cincy Lifestyle on the other side of the break. Plus, Cincy Lifestyle has full episodes of our program on YouTube now, so you can find pretty much everything we've done. Find some fun segments that you've never seen before, or you can watch your favorites over and over again. We encourage you to do that. Just go to Cincy Lifestyle on YouTube.com. Stick around. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Well, coming up tomorrow here on Cincy Lifestyle, we put our baking skills to the test on an all-new edition of Nailed It. That's right. Watch as Allie Martin attempts to recreate a recipe from the Cheesecakery. These are always so much fun to see. Believe me, you don't want to miss this one.
No, and you also don't want to miss the rap battle we have. Now that's WRAP battle. We have a competition, or competitor rather, on Disney Freeform show here to give us some advice and judge our rapping skills. You'd be amazed at who won this one. all that and so much more happening tomorrow right here on Cincy Lifestyle. You know, we went back to the office to get just whatever we could find to get wrapped.
Yes.
One of the things we had back there in the office
Right.
was a fake Viking helmet. Guess who got that one?
Well, guess who won? You'll have to stay tuned tomorrow and see.
Okay. Well, we're sitting here spinning the dreidel.
We are learning how to play the actual
Right.
game.
And if you know what that's about, one side means you get nothing. Guess which one I land on all the time? That's Cincy Lifestyle for Monday, December 23rd.
And we just thank you for watching, and reach out to us. Give us your ideas. We love hearing from you.
That's exactly right. Hope you got your Christmas shopping done. Or that you're going to get it done soon.
That's right. For all last-minute shoppers, make it a great day.
Again. Thanks for watching our video. If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And to make sure you don't miss out on any of the fun, click the bell icon to be notified about any new videos. And don't forget to make it a great day.